Choo motherfucker。
剧情模式，继续游戏。
Bagley here. How did everything go earlier?
Oh, right. I think I may have a new recruit for us. Ready?
The fuck? The fuck? Why? What's me? What the fuck? This fuck?
地图，滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，滑鼠右键设置路径点 ，Escape 返回。确认好。商店，外衣，商店，井号1 ，space 购买，井号2 ，space 井号2，井号5，井号4，井号5，井号9，井号12，井号9，井号1，井号19 ，space 购买，G 切换，井号10，商店，内装。商店，井号10，井号19，井号1，商店，商店，井号2，井号3 ，space 购买，井号2，井号4，井号6，井号9，井号7，井号12，井号15，井号12，井号10。井号13，井号10，井号11 ，space 购买，返回 escape， 井号9 ，space 购买，井号10，衣柜，商店，帽子，鞋子，商店，井号6，井号8，井号10，井号11，返衣柜，商店。帽子，商店，井号1，井号7，井号10，井号1，衣柜，商店，商店，井号1，井号1，商店，商店，商店，内装，商店，井号1，商店，商店，井号1。井号6，井号4，井号4，井号11，井号12，商店，衣柜，面具，服装，衣柜，其他，预设，衣柜，衣柜，井号6，衣柜，内装，反外衣，衣柜，井号4，预设。 井号3，衣柜，内装，手部装备，衣柜。井号2，衣柜，手部装备，返回 escape。商店，外衣，商店，井号13，井号2，商店，商店，外衣，商店，井号4。
I don't want any trouble. Stop it! My ears! Naughty last week. I went on a bit of a shopping spree. I must have bought 10 of neon games.
Let me just sit with yourself. With your answers to anxiety, we used to be able to find some other way.
Now to do your job, bloody time. I'll be on your ass till you get out.
Yeah, that's great!
What is going on?
Any disorderly conduct will be investigated and penalised if necessary.
You fascists! Bloody thief! Blood is on your hands!
地图，团队，布里、潘、尤里马、加、欧萨、潘姆、欧、加巴、欧萨托、欧邦拿、潘姆、威洛尼、艾玛德、艾曼、林赛扬、威尔、季马、埃蒙麦、安、凯、安博、凯特利安娜雷根、奥利、凯特利安娜雷根、麻醉师、艾尔德维、珍妮佛卢特考斯基、查尔斯、塞米亚哈德威、杰友、查尔斯塔德、克利斯、奥利佛布朗、克利斯、季马苏德、埃蒙、季马苏德、抗议领袖、艾尔德维、塞米亚哈德威、杰友。曾阅读指控、头巾、毒气，你确定要团队？威尔利特金、珍妮、罗查、伯格、约克苏尔、克罗宾威尔丁、阿尔比恩员工，因为伤害罪而遭克莱提、亚伯卡特、伊莲罗宾森，网络架构师，会进行渗透测试，山姆席曼斯基、马布拉、乔安、埃纳拉米、蜜雪儿派克、艾姆林莫里斯、罗伯特罗伯森、艾姆林莫里斯、蜜雪儿派克、艾姆林莫亚克罗珍妮、埃蒙珍妮佛卢特考、埃蒙季马苏德，抗议领袖季马克凯特、埃蒙麦克纳、奥利佛布朗、罗伯特罗伯森、山姆亚伯卡特、乔安娜拉米娜塔莉贝克、艾姆乔安蜜雪儿派克，摄影师艾曼达吉登斯，街头艺术家。团队艾曼达吉登斯，街头艺术家，曾发表反对吸入剂的部落格。其弹枪，确定要用词团队。
Humans are replaceable. Hey.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. Absolutely.
I'm here.
Right. Our friend's research should be somewhere in this facility.
Waiting area clear. London's now under the protection of
That's the server with our friend's research on it.
Hey, don't damage the server. It bloody zapped me. You'll be fine. Just don't let anything happen to the server.
That's odd. Someone's messing with that door.
资料。
My fucking ear! That was definitely something. Spider's acting up, knocking it down.
I want the target now. John, enter search protocol.
There, moving on.
Move me on, there's nothing here.
No one here. This area is clear. Keep moving. This area is clear. Keep moving.
Well, that's it. Ending the search. Well, that's the end of that harassment campaign. Our prospect will be grateful for the assistance. We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
Anything you need, just say the word.
You know how you could help? Join us. Be a part of DedSec.
Sounds like a blast. I'm in.
Oh, interesting. Another piece.
Well, I can see why Albion wants this drug our friend invented. It makes people more alert, energetic, and aggressive. Basically, they're planning to dope their whole army with supermen. Or rather, they were, before I wiped all their data. I saved a copy for myself, though, for reasons.
Top job, Bagley. It's done.
Brilliant work. Just say how I can repay you.
You know how you could help? Join us. Be a part of DedSec.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to make a difference.
You'll fit right in. The more people willing to fight the system, the better.
Fuck yeah. Ready to help make a difference.
Brilliant.
People of London, all illegal activities mandatory.
团队：娜塔莉·贝克，科技、渗透装置、战斗蜘蛛机装置、电圈、 已取得装置。战斗蜘蛛机器人生，你要将此装置装备于当。
So 5 years in prison.
科技团队：娜塔莉·贝克、季马苏德、威尔、奥纳尔·威斯特、克里斯汀·瓦西勒夫、医务府艾玛·和瓦兹、克里斯汀·瓦西勒夫、医务辅助人员。你确定要换团队？娜塔莉·贝克、奥纳尔·威斯特、埃蒙·凯特利安娜·雷根、麻醉师凯特利安·博罗法拉、退伍军人凯特利埃蒙·珍妮佛·罗伯特、奥利艾尔·查尔伯克莱亚约克罗宾伊莲山姆布莱乔亚马库斯厄文沃德拉密拉克伦麦克唐纳艾姆林莫布莱亚伯卡特罗伯特亚伯卡特伯格丹罗伯特艾尔德维罗宾艾尔德维查尔奥利罗伯特罗伯森艾尔德维罗宾威尔丁山姆伊莲查尔罗宾威尔丁阿尔比恩员工团队欧潘威马艾玛德季马林赛扬德领娜塔莉贝克哈利特普加尤里马登斯退伍山姆罗宾威尔丁团队罗宾威尔丁 Space 与地图 G 社群照片滑鼠右键设置路径点 Escape 确认好滑
So creepy. No one pushes me around. I will teach you a lesson.
That's one way to take out the competition. Our prospect can rest easy now. Now that you've helped them, they might be willing to talk to us.
团队山卓拉迪克山7点到9点16点到7点到1点到2点 Space 与地图检视团队山卓拉迪克凯利被前 DSEC 加比杰克森伤害而且住院曾听说 DSEC 会直播私人网络摄影机的画面族群年龄
Jesus, they've been knocked out cold. What? Huh? Bloody hell, what is going on here?
Anti-social.
商店外衣返回 Escape 商店井号1 Space 购买井号2井号6井号7井号7井号12 井号15，井号16，井号16 ，space 购买 ，G 商店井号1，商店井号7，井号11，井号14，井号17，井号8，井号5，商店井号3，商店衣柜井号8，返回 escape。衣柜内装衣柜井号5，衣柜井号6，衣柜井号4，井号7，井号6，井号3，衣柜背包鞋子衣柜井号2，衣柜背包下身衣着下身耳饰衣柜井号1，衣柜预设 space 解除装备返回 escape 衣柜。地图，滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，滑鼠右键设置路径点。
Auto drive now enabled.
Awaiting area crime report.
Auto drive now disabled. Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive now disabled. Auto drive now enabled.
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors, this is The Bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flame, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology, apparently, is here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 18th century and see if we can have another crack at the Industrial Revolution and get it later on this time. But new tech is creating 4,000 jobs. Count them all, 4,000 new jobs. Thanks to this new tech investment.
I mean, that's a very exciting thing if you're someone who wants to work in the tech sector, but I can only assume that this tech investment has created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not, there'll be jobs that no one in their right, sane mind would actually want to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess. And we have to embrace the way technology is taking over everything, because maybe this is a ray of hope for us in this darkened universe, that technology will in fact render us all obsolete, and we won't need humans at all, because look at the bad things that are happening now. What is the common denominator behind all of them?
I don't know, Andy, tell me.
All the bad things that are happening now, all the bad things that have ever happened, all involved human beings. They're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this, an automated Nigel Cass, surely a step up on the human Nigel Cass. You could even program it to have a tiny, tiny sliver of conscience. And if you had an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, just a step forward.
Again, I insist that there's never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. The only times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is it's when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached the point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was a watermelon. No, it would be, I think we'd all be happy with that. We'd all know where we stood.
You hear him being praised for his diplomatic skills all the time, but the best mark of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So good diplomacy is indistinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
You are listening to The Bug. 4,000 new dream jobs for everyone. All I can say, Alice, is that I'm very glad that my children studied drama at school, because that has set them up for life in modern Britain. That is the one core skill they need, the ability to pretend that they are living happy and fulfilled lives, that they have jobs that are worth doing, and that they're making the planet a better place, and that they control their own destinies, and that they have even a parody of a private life, and that they can smile without crying. That's what drama teaches them to do. Crucial skills in this day and age. Of course, it's not just the jobs that have been technologicalised beyond all recognition, it is also all reality. Thanks once again to Optic. According to Bloom, the Optic system is now the most secure it's ever been. And, well, of course, I mean, it's so convenient, Optic, isn't it? It saves us so much time and hassle trying to exist in a kind of realm of reality. We don't even need to bother with that. I mean, sure, the government has hacked into my soul and now basically monitors my every waking moment and thought. But at least I don't have to type, where's my nearest coffee shop, into a search engine. At least I don't have to waste anything between 8 and 12 seconds every day going online to look up how to make a bowl of muesli. And at least I'm not frittering away my precious mental energies thinking, what do I actually think?
Optic is so secure, Andy. It's more secure than a teenage girl reading a women's magazine. It's more secure than a comedian with a drinking problem. It's more secure than a young man who's just got his first motorcycle license.
Finally, before we go today, bug off to the Prime Minister, who has once again FRO'd to who knows where this week. He sure as hell is not here in London. I remember sometimes our Prime Ministers were either in competition I've had lions longer than the longest fell on the soil. Let's crowdfund it. Let's make a cryptocurrency out of it.
You're listening to The Bug.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, this is The Bug.
I'm warning you! Move along, move along. I've had it!
And Alice.
地图 滑鼠中键缩。
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, is it?
You're listening to the bar.
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors, this is the bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flame, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology apparently is here to stay. There's no way around that now. Much as I'd like to go back to the 18th century and see if we can have another crack at the Industrial Revolution and get it later on this time. But new tech is creating 4,000 jobs. Count them all, 4,000 new jobs, thanks to this new tech investment.
I mean, that's a very exciting thing if you're someone who wants to work in the tech sector, but I can only assume that this tech investment has created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not, there'll be jobs that no one in their right, sane mind would actually want to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess. And we have to embrace the way technology is taking over everything, because maybe this is a ray of hope for us in this darkened universe, that technology will in fact render us all obsolete, and we won't need humans at all, because look at the bad things that are happening now. What is the common denominator behind all of them?
I don't know, Andy, tell me.
All the bad things that are happening now, all the bad things that have ever happened, all involved human beings. They're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this, an automated Nigel Cass, surely a step up on the human Nigel Cass. You could even program it to have a tiny, tiny sliver of conscience. And if you had an automated Prime Minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, it's a step forward.
Again, I insist that there's never been a Prime Minister, Andy. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him.
Your
the only
destination.
times I ever hear what the Prime Minister does is when nothing happens.
I mean, it has reached the point where, and I've thought this for a long time, we would be better off if the Prime Minister was...
Curious.
What?
You?
No, what is this? What's up?
Watch yourself next time. Bloody Christ! Look at me. Dust.
Right, search me one more time, you little cunt, and see what happens to you.
Take it easy.
Oh, fuck, sorry for biting your head off. Look, I thought you were Albion. They keep stopping me and I'm a little wound up.
Crying about it won't fix anything. Tell me what's wrong and maybe we can help.
They just started coming after me all of a sudden. Now it seems like every time I walk through a checkpoint, I get the full fucking cavity search. I think someone's using that damn CTOS to make false reports against me.
Could be. Is there anyone who'd want to mess with you like that?
Sure, loads. But I fear that avenue of inquiry would be like searching for a needle in a needle stack. Do you reckon you could hack the system for me? Figure out what's going on? If you help me out with this, I'll do plenty in return.
Yeah, all right. I'll rally the comrades. Any ideas?
We have a CTOS backdoor already.
团队，纳塔装置，战斗蜘蛛机器人，已装备，短程飞渗透团队。
All the reports are anonymized. If you want to know who's targeting our friend, get me a hardline into a government server.
All right, let's get some data. Send me those location deets.
So, you like bare knuckle? You think you're tough? Do you know why we fight in a slaughterhouse?
Why?
Because you're gonna be cut up like a little piece of meat. If you challenge our champion, he will completely butcher you.
头衔赛，屠宰场，奖励10150 Space 团队，娜塔莉贝克，皆有。头衔赛，屠宰场。
Oh, I can taste the tension in here. Our fighters are ready, are you? Well, you better be. Bets are closed and we're ready to roll.
Come on, show me what you've got.
Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting! A solid hit! That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people? And that's a hit! One for the record book.
Best fight I've seen in ages.
Place your bets, fight lovers. Here they come. Purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and unsteady. Get on your feet and let them hear it. Did you all see that monster hit on the stream? Fucking hell. Now that's entertainment. And what a massive blow to our fighter. Whoa, that hit looked like it fucking hurt. Just like a proper live highlight reel. Oh yes, knockdown! That was a lovely knockdown. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces. Place your bets and strap the fuck in. But fucking wild blow, oh my God. Oh, now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Oh, they're gonna feel that hit in the morning if they wake up. Fuck yes! Now here comes a bloke who knows how to have a tear-up. Fronting for his hooligan mates, he'll never let them down. Blow that chat up, folks! Our next match is gonna be a wild one.
垃圾人，就是他妈垃圾人。
Let's go, G.
Don't know how anyone will come back from that. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Oh, shit! And that's a solid blow down. They're getting murdered in there.
是2个就够多了，还3个。
Just like a
No, who I am?
live
I'll
highlight.
fucking run these ends, bro.
Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from
Man's gonna knock you straight.
Well, that's what happens when you're entertainment. What a massive blow to our fighter. shit, and that's a solid blowdown. Absolutely nobody saw that bit coming. Unless you did, then you just made yourself a proper lumpy bit of dosh.
妈的，还绕的。我这能力还蛮屌。
团队：娜塔莉·贝克，皆友：山卓拉迪克、凯利邦打手、英西、罗宾威、埃蒙、山卓拉迪克、凯利邦打手。你却团队。 团队：埃蒙、麦、威廉、奥纳、安博罗法拉、威廉麦金托、奥利弗、凯特利安、艾尔德维、奥利克、约克苏尔、山姆席曼、约克苏尔、山姆席亚伯卡特、亚伯特葛林。无拳套拳击手，你却放弃团队。娜塔莉贝克、皮塔尼可洛夫。 阿尔比恩员工申请下一皮塔尼克团队特务娜塔莉贝克保护了他的被害人。特务娜制服权限。阿尔比恩地盘。皮塔团队特务娜制服权限。你团队即德维恩林赛扬即马苏德哈利特普即马苏德艾姆林莫埃贾兹拉米。 艾姆林、拉克伦麦、拉米什、厄文沃德、乔安纳伯科夫斯基、安博罗法拉、威廉麦金托。无拳套拳击手罗宾威尔丁。阿尔比恩员工因为伤害罪而遭到调查。曾听罗宾威尔丁 Space 团队。地图。 地图，滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，滑鼠右键设置路径点 ，Escape 返回，确认搭乘地铁。
Piece of idiot. Fucking asshole!
The fuck?
Well done. That crypto farmer is out of commission. I'll inform our prospects. We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
I officially owe you one, or two.
Best thing you could do is pay it forward, right? Join DeadSet. Grow the movement.
Fuck yeah. Sign me up. Auto drive now.
You're listening to the bar.
Nibbling away on the rotten profits of a once free Britain.
We need more badass folks like you on our team. Glad to have you.
Hell yes! I'm ready to get my hands dirty with you lot.
Hells yes!
Shit this way, alright?
Oh, load it.
Okay, what is going on?
Filming is commencing for the Global British Broadcasting
lot.
That's fantastic.
Oh, shit. You're famous, right?
Okay. Whoa.
商店，外衣，商店，井号1，井号1，井号16，井号4，井号1，井号5，商店，商店，商店，手部装备，商店，商店，井号13，井号8，商店，耳饰，手鞋子，商店。商店，鞋子，商店，井号4，井号4，井号13，井号4，井号13，井号15，衣柜，衣柜，井号7，蓝宝石，井号2 ，space 装备，衣柜，内装，衣柜，井号2，井号5。井号11，井号8，井号10，井号12 ，space 装备，衣柜，外衣，衣柜，井号10，井号1，井号4，井号12，衣柜，鞋子，衣柜，井号2，井号4，井号5，衣柜，下，衣柜。井号7，井号5，衣柜，背包，鞋子，返回，手部装备，团队，微。
I'm a big fan. Keep up the good work, love.
This area is being recorded by the GBB.
Oh, 地图。
Nibbling away on the rotting carcass of a once free Britain. Hello, resistors. This is the bug, keeping the fire of hope alive in the vacuum of today's Britain. Okay, fires don't burn in vacuums. It's a little novelty Christmas light, shaped like a flame, but it's something. It is something to cling to. Joining me, as always, is Alice. And Alice, hold the front page. Technology apparently. But new tech is creating 4,000 jobs. Count them all, 4,000 new jobs. Thanks to this new tech investment.
I mean, that's a very exciting thing if you're someone who wants to work in the tech sector, but I can only assume that this tech investment has created 4,000 jobs that will immediately be taken by robots.
Even if they're not, there'll be jobs that no one in their right, sane mind would actually want to do, but that's the price of progress, I guess. And we have to embrace the way technology is taking over everything, because maybe this is a ray of hope for us in this darkened universe, that technology will in fact render us all obsolete, and we won't need humans at all, because look at the bad things that are happening now. What is the common denominator behind all of them?
I don't know, Andy, tell me.
All the bad things that are happening now, all the bad things that have ever happened, all involved human beings. They're always involved whenever anything goes wrong from the very dawn of time. And think of this, an automated Nigel Cash, surely a step up on the human Nigel Cash. You could even program it to have a tiny, tiny sliver of conscience. And if you had an automated prime minister, you could program it to be occasionally in the goddamn country. So that's, again, it's a step forward.
Again, I insist that there's never been a prime minister. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him. Every time they ever hear it, then nothing happens.
团队，威尔利特金，装置，渗透者，战斗导弹无人机，已装备，会直线飞电拳，渗透者蜘蛛机器人，战斗蜘蛛机器人，短程团队。
Are you always such an idiot?
Diplomatic skills all the time. The best part of diplomacy is when nothing happens. So it's distinguishable from him doing absolutely nothing.
Better shut down this spider drone.
Right, let's find this joker.
Who the fuck did that? Moving on to that spider thing.
The spider bot has infiltrated us. We gotta stop the prick running it.
团队，装置，渗透者之团队。
Car's good. Let's keep looking.
Let's wait around and see if this racketeer shows up.
Finding the full gallery today. Bugger off to the Prime Minister, who has once again crossed our road to who knows where. I remember
资料。
Our potential recruit has been trying to take down a Clan Kelly racket run by a nearby goon. You could hack their optic to redistribute the money they stole. Well, that was easy. They might as well have sent us the money directly and saved themselves the trouble. Our prospect can rest easy now. Speaking of which, I have some exciting news about the man you just helped.
资料
Spider's got fuck off, fuck it.
I will shoot you.
Is there anything left? New on the boat this week, a new feature. We bug up feature, in person, with your photo of it. Bug off, and there's gossip going on about nominate Big Nigel. Nigel Catholic, this is Britain. This is over this place is back in freedom. I'm just not sure that that kind of freedom should involve Big Nigel getting his freedom to run a private army. Okay? Historically, there is a precedent, the East India Company. That was a trading house with an army of 270,000 soldiers, which is a lot for a company. The bunch here, we have Alex to the war business. But compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate with quarter of a million strong army in London. It's a long way away. Howden side, Howden mine. Anyone nominate for the bug off?
I think today's bug off for me goes to my streaming service. I'm sick of being recommended things based on things I already like. The other day it recommended me to watch a reality TV competitive dating show set in a new country. Annie, I watched it and I liked it. And I do not want to be the kind of person who enjoys new competitive reality television dating shows. I do not want to know that about myself. At the corner of the try.
That's it from the bug. Don't forget the live show that is so secretive is definitely not happening.
When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Catholic, many people were surprised, but we were. London had been up to sale a privatisation for 6 years. You're gonna be but now the private companies have shit bollocks. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice? On Saturday, which we think
All clear here. I'm gonna check somewhere else.
Report any suspicious activity.
Not
Public
here.
security
Moving on.
is everyone's responsibility.
No one here. Moving on.
Suspicious activity.
That drone's being messed with. Lock it down.
Drones and cameras are integral to the security.
And that's the danger of reports like Albion, you know, you start taking powers to yourself and you actually start to tell you know.
Nothing. Gonna keep moving. No one here. Moving on.
no one here, but I'll keep looking. Ah!
If the shithead's gone, then it's not my problem anymore. First to bring you the news. Global British Broadcasting. Britain's first news channel.
地图，花束。
What? Hey, someone get help! There's been an accident!
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised, but we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is that now the private companies have guns. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice? On Buccaneer, we conceal everyone's full names for their own safety. Here's Helen, who investigated policing, civil rights and justice in pre-crisis Britain.
One of the kind of classic hallmarks of a fascist leader is having their own private army or police force. In a democracy, the state tends to have a monopoly on violence, and that's not what happens when a state fails.
I'm here.
The server is there somewhere. Once you're hooked up, we can see exactly where the false reports are coming from.
All right, I got this.
Disorderly conduct will be investigated and penalised if necessary.
in.
CTOS?
This area is being recorded for GBB news footage. This area is being recorded for GBB. Attention! This area will be used for news footage purposes.
Let's lock it down.
"资料 资料
I mean, the anonymous reports on our friend read like a terrorist shopping list. Van rental, bulk fertilizer purchase, bulk petrol purchase.
Doesn't that sound exactly like what you need to build a car bomb?
Yes, only it can't have been him. The timestamps on these reports don't match our GPS tracking. Someone out there must be about to launch an attack, and they want him to take the fall.
Fuck me. If that car bomb goes off, there's no telling how many people could get hurt. Bagley, go through those false reports and see if you can find a lead.
I traced the IP back to a known Clan Kelly hideout. That's where we'll find our culprits.
团队：威尔约克、山姆西、亚伯卡特。商店：亚伯卡。团队：曾听说 Dixeg 清空道路。你确定？放团队。地图：滑鼠中键缩，确认搭乘地铁。
Maybe there's hope for this world yet.
Not my God, so jolly in years. Please have all identification papers ready.
I've got a vehicle with a Wi-Fi bomb detonator somewhere on the premises. Get me a link up and I can disable it.
I've got it.
There's the bomb.
Show off a bit, Bagley.
Disarming it now.
Get out of here.
Done. The bomb's dead. The only way it's exploding is if it's hit with another, larger bomb.
Fuck yes. DedSec puts the saving the day in Vigilante.
Now get out of there so we can contact our friend.
This is fucking wild, but you were right. Clan Kelly was using CTOS to set you up for a car bombing. We sorted it out.
Is that so? It seems I am in your debt.
Hey, we could always use more people in DedSec. You want to join a party?
Thought you'd never ask.
DedSec's getting stronger, smarter and sexier. Welcome to the team.
Brilliant. Finally found my people.
Fuck yes!
团队装置渗透者蜘蛛团队埃蒙麦克纳马拉音乐家戴米萨伊杜信差曾参加访罗宾威尔丁戴米萨伊杜艾玛和埃蒙麦克纳马拉罗宾威尔丁任务滑鼠右键追踪
Tell me about him, Bagley.
Looks like he's a marked man. Clan Kelly put a bounty on his head.
Why?
He's an uncommonly dangerous underground boxer. Apparently he once won a fight with a bag of cement, however you do that. And in his last match he took down a mob-backed favourite. Now they're sending out an enforcer to make sure he never wins again.
Not if we have anything to say about it. Bagley, find that enforcer.
Already done.
地图，滑鼠中键缩放写。
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. But don't worry, we're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organisation that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and locations secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
Is the world we're living in now fascist? Well, this is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation, and the only meaning that you will find in your life is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? A nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does, it's just a myth, but that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one another. But that isn't that rare. I mean, it's exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. You look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany, there were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
We're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data and how that's been used and manipulated, and what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. For example, if we examine what actually happened, there's a company that's really very interested in selling passports and making it easy to provide visas for investment and so on. And historically, throughout the world, they've been working with this big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments. And then suddenly all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things were done, but everybody had a feeling that something really stunk, and they couldn't figure it out. And yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. There's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well, who are bending things just a little. We'll compromise a little bit, we'll bend the rules a little bit, and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is
you have reached your destination
in a big way.
地图，滑鼠中键。
From a lot of little buttons being pushed, but also there's this other thing that's going on here, is the gathering of...
The enforcer we're after is here, currently assaulting some other poor cunt that pissed off the Kellys. If you take them out, our boxer friend may live to fight another day. That's them there. takes care of the immediate mortal peril. Now scarf her or they'll kill you for sure.
Well done, Tim. We did it.
Don't break out the tiny party hats just yet. We might have bought our boxers some time, but once Clan Kelly finds out what happened, they'll almost certainly want revenge. Suggest you warn him.
I'm going.
Passport and making it easy to
团队装置导弹无人机
provide visas for investment and so
Suspect or suspects reported near your location. Moving inbound to hostile.
In pursuit. I repeat, we are in pursuit.
Negative. No sign of the target yet. Received. Returning to HQ. Over.
Something about solar vortex. Popular with couples, if you can believe that. Like it's
地图，滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，滑鼠右键设置确认搭乘地铁。
It's you. I like your work.
Oh, I've seen you online, I think.
Christ, I can't believe you're here. Can I have your one?
That was great.
It's not all bad, I suppose. That's incredible!
So good.
Smiling like an idiot.
Auto drive now enabled. You have reached your
This
destination.
is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls for signal and intelligence support.
You might want to hurry. I'm detecting some Clan Kelly movement in the area.
商店外衣返回 escape 帽子商店井号1井号9井号12井号15井号24 space 购买 G 切换井号2井号22井号23井号21井号衣柜商店井号5井号1商店背包商店 商店，商店，井。团队 ，IMON 卖装置，扩增实境伪装，胜团队。科技，战斗蜘蛛升级项目，你要将此装置好。科技，电极陷阱。团队，埃蒙麦克装置，电极渗透。团队，团队。资料。
There's no time. So I'm just saying, you're in danger.
What do you mean?
Not everyone's so pleased with your winning streak. Clan Kelly's gunning for you. We already took out one of their goons, but they'll send more.
Ha! I've been craving a little street fight.
And I'd love to see that, truly. But even if you take down 100, they'll send 100 more. Hide. We'll keep them distracted so they don't look too hard.
Right. Whoever you are, thank you. I'll owe you for this.
团队，埃蒙·麦克纳马拉，音乐家，曾试图取得知名迷音的版权。
Enemies incoming.
Chicken shit. It won't stop shooting.
Are you ready for a new operation?
I'll do what needs doing.
That's pretty much the opposite of what our prospect would have wanted. Oh well.
团队，埃蒙·麦克纳马拉，罗宾·威尔丁。罗宾·威尔21 Space 在兰贝斯大厦发现假地图。地图，滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，确认搭乘。
Yeah.
Whoa, hello. Oh dear.
I'm a big fan.
Like that on purpose. What a great day this is.
Hold still during the scan.
There are problems. Hey, oh shit.
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone, but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange to think that he was just another here today, gone tomorrow politician until his infamous London is drowning speech went viral. The forces of darkness he unleashed with that speech changed everything around us. Was Hassani's rise inevitable? Could it have been stopped? And what happens when democracy starts to breed the ideas that can destroy it? Using back channels and underground contacts, we got in touch with political analysts and historians to find out how it's possible for cynical, short-term leaders like our beloved Prime Minister to give birth to political nightmares. No full names, as you know. These days, telling the truth can get you killed. Helen spelt out the dangers of populism for major political magazines and websites back in the pre-censorship days.
The appeal of fascist politics is about strongmen, and they are usually men, because it's about saying there are simple problems that are really easy to define, say immigration, and there are simple solutions to them, stop immigration. And they are really appealing because they make sense of a world that can often feel really complicated and confusing, and they do offer, or seem to offer, action, instead of what politics can often be, which is a kind of messy set of compromises where no one gets really what they want, everyone gets a little bit of it. And that's the problem, really, is you end up in a situation where it looks like someone is going to do something incredible and transformative, but of course either it never really delivers, or it delivers at a huge cost to, for example, dehumanising people. And I think you see that in the rhetoric around immigration.
Let's wait around and see if this counterfeit farmer dealer show.
足球游戏教学基础：适时按下按键即可击球。在轮环色块区内的每次命中均视作完美击球，会让后续每次命中的分数加成。完美击球与特技。足球游戏。上次分数0。
Right, let's just say this is physical coordination training. I'll keep track of your score.
Ah, fuck.
足球游戏。上。
Just keep walking.
Yeah, fucking legend!
足球游戏。
Fucking legend over here. Hi.
足球游戏。
This sort of makes me wish I had legs.
Maybe there's hope for this world yet.
Big fan.
Yeah! How many's that now? Ah, this
足球。
brings me back. You never lose it.
Our potential recruit has identified a counterfeit farmer operation run by a nearby Clan Kelly dealer. You could download incriminating evidence off their optic. I found some highly incriminating evidence on the counterfeit farmer dealer's optic. I'll send it on to our prospect and let them decide how to handle it. Now that you've helped them, they might be willing to talk to us.
I wonder if there's more like this.
What was ultimately a trick of the boat.
团队：埃蒙·麦克、罗宾·威尔丁、阿尔比恩。团队。任务：地图。滑鼠中。
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone, but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange to think that he was just another here today, gone tomorrow politician until his infamous London is drowning speech went viral. The forces of darkness he unleashed with that speech changed everything around us. Was Hassani's rise inevitable? Could it have been stopped? And what happens when democracy starts to breed the ideas that can destroy it? Using back channels and underground contacts, we got in touch with political analysts and historians to find out how it's possible for cynical, short-term leaders like our beloved Prime Minister to give birth to political nightmares. No full names, as you know. These days, telling the truth can get you killed. Helen spelt out the dangers of populism for major political magazines and websites back in the pre-censorship days.
The appeal of fascist politics is about strongmen, and they are usually men, because it's about saying there are simple problems that are really easy to define, say immigration, and there are simple solutions to them, stop immigration. And they are really appealing because they make sense of a world that can often feel really complicated and confusing, and they do offer, or seem to offer, action, instead of what politics can often be, which is a kind of messy set of compromises where no one gets really what they want, everyone gets a little bit of it. And that's the problem, really, is you end up in a situation where it looks like someone is going to do something incredible and transformative, but of course either it never really delivers, or it delivers at a huge cost to, for example, dehumanising people. And I think you see that in the rhetoric around immigration. If you say immigrants are a problem, we're going to stop them, it's a legitimate political stance for a country to want to control its borders, but the way that that's done can often end up being very cruel and inhumane, because what you have said is immigrants specifically are the problem. Not every fascist is a populist, but they are two interlinked styles of government, really, because what fascists tend to do is rely on narratives of deep change and of enemies. I think that's one of the hallmarks of this style of politics, where you represent your opponents not just as people who disagree with you, but as existential threats, as evil people. So you see it in the course of the run-up to the Second World War, where Jewish people are represented as, rats and a scourge. You see it with Muslims, where they are represented as coming to take over and replace white people. So you have big defined groups of enemies that the person who is trying to convince you to vote for them, or later on simply to support their regime perhaps, needs to defeat. There is always an enemy to be defeated. Unfortunately, one of the things we're very bad at as humans is recognising different things when they don't look like previous examples. So I think in pre-crisis Britain we had an idea that when fascism came it would look again like the 1930s. It would look like a single charismatic leader. It would look like a jackboots in the street and huge flags. And it didn't look like that. It looked like social media groups. It looked like poisoning the well so that no information could be trusted. It had its own specific flavour, and that, I think, blinded people, as did a kind of complacency that things aren't ever going to get that bad ever again. That's a problem for the past. We're much more sophisticated now. We're not going to succumb to these great moods of emotion where everyone is hysterically listening to a leader. Well, guess what? People don't change that much.
Where do authoritarians come from? Before the crisis, Ian was a senior journalist covering the global rise of the strongmen.
Populism started to rise as a response to a series of crises. Now, some of these were true, some of them were false. There was a financial crisis. People were poorer. They were less secure than they were. They were looking for easy answers. There was a refugee crisis. I mean, the extent to which that was an actual crisis is frankly questionable. There wasn't actually that many people coming over. But what you had was mainstream news reflecting really quite right-wing rhetoric, portraying what was ultimately a trickle of boat to some major crisis hitting the country. And once you get into that situation, you are primed for having authoritarian leaders with fictitious but easy answers come along with a populist message and basically say to you, look, I will take care of the problem. I will make it all go away. So how do populists capture existing political parties or institutions? The truth is this usually happens in about 3 different ways. The first one is the easiest one. You set up a party, you win an election, you take over. But that doesn't actually happen that often. And the second way is a bit more common, which is that you basically find yourself in coalition with usually a mainstream right-wing party. And this has happened this is exactly what happened, of course, in the 1920s in Italy with Mussolini. It's exactly what happened in the 1940s in Germany with Adolf Hitler, which is that the mainstream bring them into power, and there they think they can control them, but you can never control this kind of party. They will always take charge. The third way is the most pernicious and the one that we recognise least, and that's when basically from the opposition, from the media, right-wing populists get their message out against immigrants, against corrupt elites, supposedly corrupt elites, and just pump out that message, pump out these frames of rhetoric, and by virtue of that they take control of the political dialogue, well away from power.
What? You don't know me, but I heard we might have some mutual interests.
Wait, are you with DedSec? I just so happen to need some help.
We might be able to help. What's the situation?
I volunteer with a charity that helps undocumented immigrants evade the deportation squads. We always follow up with the people we help, but now I can't get in touch with anyone. I'm worried something's happened to them.
I follow. We'll look into this charity, make sure everything's above board.
I traced his message history, and his charity contact was texting him from a known Clan Kelly hideout.
Of course. If people are suffering, Clan Kelly finds a way to make money. Point me at the cunts.
Indeed. Pushing you the location so you can investigate.
地图，滑鼠中，
On the rotting carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, Resistance fans.
Auto
You're
drive
listening to the Bug
navigated.
Podcast, the objective voice of objection for this most objectionable world. I am Andy, not my real name, so good luck finding me, Monsieur Bloom. My real name is, in fact, Andrew, and I live in, note this down, a deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is, in fact, the most densely populated place on Earth these days, overcrowded, some might say. Joining me, as always, my next-door neighbour in these Netherlands of nonsense, it's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you that, but you can just sort of sense it from the timbre of my voice.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we're getting today's news from. Here, it's coming from here. I must get a new wheel with at least one other place on it. And the headline today, Alice.
地图，滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，滑鼠。
Our borders are safe. We can all sleep easy in our well-bordered beds. 4,000 illegals were deported last month. These illegal people breaking the law just by existing, and of course illegality is contagious. It can osmose through your skin just by standing next to an illegal person. So we've got rid of 4,000 of them. My question for you, Alice, is why only 4,000? Is that really enough? I will not feel safe until at least another 75 million people have been deported from this country, and I'm here in Britain on my own.
As a bleeding heart lefty, Andy, I would normally be outraged about this, but really I think mass deportation is a very handy way to break up with a partner. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but an anonymous source has reported you for snoring really loudly in a French way.
So everyone out, no exceptions, Alice, not even you, it's for the good of the country, everyone out, unless you can prove that your family are in the background on the Bayeux Tapestry cheering on King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Get out! Actually, that's not British enough. Unless you can show, unarguably, that your direct bloodline is untainted by anything since before the Romans. Actually, scratch that. Unless your direct ancestor was personally responsible for building Stonehenge, get out of my country. I guess when you look at it, you know, the best way is to stop immigration, apart from, obviously, the end of the world, to make the place you want to stop people coming to as unpleasant as possible. So,
Well, we absolutely are doing that, Andy.
well, you know, fair play to the government for helping us with that. Another option, extend the White Cliffs of Dover. They've been resting on their laurels for too long. Very inefficient, it turns out, as a means of stopping immigration. We need to extend them by about another 11,000 miles, a full wrap around Great Britain, and they could do with being about 1.5 kilometres higher as well, with a special greasy coating to stop people clambering over the top or however they get in. Here's a quick joke for you, Alice, about immigration. Did you hear the one about the woman who went into the immigration processing centre and was ever seen again?
No, Andy, I didn't hear that one.
Boom. Set up. Punchline.
Things are looking good. Oh, shoot!
As we expected, a full-blown Clan Kelly operation. Looks like they're detaining undocumented immigrants on site for some reason. Suggest you rescue whoever's being held here and then contact our friend.
I'm on it.
There they are. Careful, Clan Kelly might be willing to kill them rather than let them escape.
I don't like this at all. Going in. Come on. They must be around somewhere. Good shot.
Next time around, go!
There's nothing here. Moving on. It's clear. Moving on.
Yeah, I think that's that. Stop looking.
Did you hear that?
Please, help.
Right, get her out.
Yes. Too long living in a town.
There. Once we're clear of the area, you can report on what we found.
I'm with DedSec. I'm afraid Clan Kelly's been pulling the wool over your eyes. You work for them.
The Kellys? The gang? But they said they were human rights activists. They even showed me legitimate paperwork. Though I wouldn't have known if it was a fake.
That's a dirty little lie. They fooled you into helping them traffic human beings.
Well, isn't that sod's law? I thought I was making a difference, and all I was doing was letting the downtrodden get hurt. I suppose I have some atoning to do.
You know, DedSec's looking for fighters, and you seem to have some fight in you. How about letting it out?
All right. I'm in. Let's have some fun.
You behind me.
The hitman has been neutralized. I'll tell our prospect the good news. Now that you've helped them, they might be willing to talk to us.
Dipshit.
Control to all units. Possible hostiles near your location. Monitoring for unusual activity.
sign of the target. Over. Immobilizing the suspect.
Bring it on!
Fuck.
That's incredible!
Control, I've lost the target.
Keep looking. Where the hell are they?
Negative. Suspect is gone. Issue an APW.
Area clear. I love your stuff.
Unit 10, stand down. Assailant pronounced dead at scene, awaiting transfer.
Drone, area search.
Forgive me for saying, but you look like the kind of lunatic who wants to change things.
You're saying you're with DedSec? I could use the help.
Well, if I was, I'd be an idiot to say it, wouldn't I? What's the situation?
Clan Kelly has crossed the line and needs to be reined in. They are killing with impunity. Enemies, rivals, critics, no one safe.
Christ, that's terrible.
There are two bastards that run their death squad, but the Met won't touch them.
Well, if they won't put in the work, someone's got to. We'll put those gangsters away.
It's worth a try. I think we can both benefit from helping each other.
I've got coordinates for the two suspects. Scrape their optic data. That should give us more than enough to incriminate them.
Grand.
Oh shit! You're famous, right?
商店外衣返回 escape。商店井号4井号2井号4井号9井号2 space 商店井号10井号11井号12井号13井号14井号12井号4井号3商店井号3井号11商店下身衣着
Right? Big fan.
Well, I don't know about that.
团队埃蒙麦罗宾威尔丁确认调好 V 检视简历 F 在地图上显示 Escape 返回。
Tough, brave, stupid. Any two of those qualify you to join. Some of us are all three.
Oh, yes. I'm ready, willing, and able to serve.
Fantastic.
Respect them.
地图滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转，滑鼠右键设置路，确认搭乘。
Okay. Yeah, all right. Seriously, no, hold on. Well, sure. Yeah, I guess. No, listen. Just breathe, all right? Right. No. No.
Make it stop!
地图
Auto drive now enabled. This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from his corporate backers and privatised the corporation.
You have reached your
Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news.
One of the gangsters whose optic data we're looking to scrape is nearby. There it is. You can hack in from there. That's one criminal scraped. Now let's see about their friend.
What is it? You're supposed to work and not I was just wondering, like, what's the problem? No, it's not happening. That's not way above your due. All good here so far. Check over there.
Nothing to see here. What's next? Looks clear.
Heads up!
Both of their optics are squeaky clean. They're smart. Damn. Did I underestimate these goons? Is there a lesson in this about humility and... Oh, no, never mind. I've traced their comms back to a remote server. I'm still amazing.
Seems like a good spot to dig up some info.
Nothing much here.
Not here. Moving on. Yeah, no one here, but I'll keep looking.
"地图"滑鼠中键缩放斜线旋转。
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know.
Auto drive now enabled.
This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking about an app on a smart device or whether you're talking about a broadcaster The most important thing was to keep you in that environment for the longest amount of time possible, and because that meant money in their pocket. And in order to do that, a couple of things happened. One was the use of manipulative techniques around behavioral economics, things that would just keep you scrolling or keep you listening or keep you looking for more information. The second is that that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines and more sensational stories, and it didn't matter whether they were true or not. It just kept people in, and it kept them in the loop. So we ended up in a situation where nobody trusted anything, and nobody believed anything at all. And that is the perfect environment for
You have reached your
an authoritarian
destination.
voice to come in and say, no, wait, we are the truth.
So the ground for this environment really got created when we
Reminder, the criminals we're investigating have a server at this location.
I think I heard something. Listen.
That's the target. Should be hackable.
Body down. What the fuck was that? Stop that.
Transfer complete.
We just shot you loads of incriminating evidence. More than you asked for. Enough to rouse the interest of our impotent police force.
Excellent. You were as good as your word.
Best thing you could do is join DedSec. We could use you.
Just what I was hoping to hear. I'm in.
Albion officers are employed to ensure safety for all. Respect their authority.
I'm excited to see what you're capable of. Very excited.
Thanks. I'm ready to bring real justice where it's needed.
Fabulous. Lucky day, lucky day. That's odd. Bugger off.
Just what we need. Armed vigilantes.
I just can't handle this right now.
Yeah, you're right,
Oh,
mate.
what the fuck? Trying my patience.
Yeah, what you want to come with? But you're sick. Yeah,
Here with this dead sick. I just can't handle this right now.
Yeah, what you saying?
I'm surprised you're.
Yes, man, it was sick.
继续。团队：奥利佛·布朗、季马苏德，抗议领袖。确认调好。
All right, another fine member of the crew. Welcome to DedSec.
Yeah, this is gonna be real. Let's do it.
Fantastic.
A bit rude, yeah?
团队：季马苏德，武器：非致命68匹。巨蛇姐妹。团队：季马。地图：华。团队：威廉、凯特利、戴米萨伊杜。信差：威廉麦金托。自从2021冲击波攻击，使敌人踉跄。威廉麦金托调查招募线 Space 地图。
The bug, nibbling
Auto
away
drive
on the rotting
navigating.
carcass of a once free Britain.
Yum yum.
Hello, bugs. This is the bug. I'm Andy. This is Alice, and today we're going to be pretending that everything is fine. Yeah, and back. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? That was as long as I could manage. A second and a half. A reality time now, however. And, well, finally today, we're going to road test the latest update to the CSA app, the government app that has brought the great British tradition of snitching on people you don't like back to the very heart of public life, the school playground. I'm going to tell a new threat that's got a whole new lease of life these days, thanks to CSA, and isn't Britain all the more fun because of it? No more grumbling about your neighbours playing their music too loud, just simply report them to the state and have them, shall we say, involuntarily rehoused at Hotel Cass, the chain of hotels that was formerly known as the prison service. What was the slogan? Is it, if you see something, say something, or if you think you might at some point see something, say something, or if you haven't seen anything but don't like someone, say something anyway. So, well, let's have a look at this new app. Alice, I'm sure you've got it on your phone. I mean, at first glance, well, the interface is lovely. It's so neatly designed. A simple button to snitch on someone. That's so much better than non-government informer apps like Stool-Easy, Can-Can Canary or Narc Shark. I mean, look, I just need to geocache where the person I'm ratting on currently is. Let's call her, for the sake of argument, Alice.
Sorry, Andy, I was busy reporting you to the authorities
What?
for rolling your eyes when passing a Nigel Cass propaganda poster.
Could you not let me report you first, please? Let's have some decorum about this. I'll just take a quick little photo so they can get a drone to pick you out of a crowd at your next riot or trip to the shops or walk in the woods. And you can input your accusations with the app. Well, let's go old school. Let's call the phone line. Let's call the phone line. Here's the number, listeners, in case you want to dob someone in, as long as it's not me. 0044 203 807 3832. And don't forget to get the permission of the person who pays your bills before you call that number.
Hey, I'd like to report my co-host Andrew, who runs an underground satirical anti-government comedy show, for running and co-hosting an underground satirical anti-government comedy show. Also, he does terrible puns.
Well, excuse me, I have a suspect for you. That is my co-host, Alice. I have some evidence for you. She tutted audibly at the sight of an Albion vehicle in the street yesterday. She says she prefers pigeons to Bloom drones. I mean, come on, seriously, when did a drone ever crap on your picnic? And what's more, and look, I've no idea if this is true or not.
团队科技电极陷阱破解机枪塔破解武器非致命68 PDSEC 手枪已取得射程短非致命
But I have it on very good authority, so please write this down, that she owns not one, but two unlicensed fallopian tubes, whatever they are, but they sound dodgy.
If I had a crypto for every time someone had reported my fallopian tubes, I'd have 3. Sure, I think it converts to about 120,000 Great British pounds in the old money.
We'll report back in the next episode about whether or not we've been arrested and interned. I mean, I love this system, Alice. I mean, no more awkward, rumbling resentments with your neighbours, your colleagues, or what the heck, in for a penny, your family. You just dob them in and be done with it. But I guess it could backfire. I mean, the thing is with a family, inevitably parents and their children, they end up squabbling, and, you know, in today's Britain, your kids are going to dob you in, so you might as well get in there first and preemptively counter-dob them in to the authorities. Yeah. What's that number again? Let's call them up again. Hey, I've got someone else. It's my son. Let's call him Norris. He never tidies his bedroom. He gets up late. He listens to illegal, non-government sanctioned music and is covertly plotting the downfall of the government and the restoration of a true democracy. Thank you.
Yeah, just define all your household chores as patriotic, and if they fail to do them, dob them in.
Problem solved.
If you don't do the washing up, do you even want a clean British ethnostat?
This is the bug on the Buccaneer.
The bug.
Well, before we go today, Alice, let's delve into what we most miss about the old days. I'm going to kick off with the flag. I never thought I'd miss the old Union Jack, but somehow our new flag managed to be even more irritating than that. I don't know quite what it is, if it's the new colour scheme, or if it's just that it symbolises the loss of everything we once held dear. But that flag irritates the hell out of me.
Was everything you ever held dear Scotland?
Well, that was something I held quite dear.
I miss being able to dodge my friends' destination weddings in Italy. There's nothing worse than being asked to spend the equivalent of a motorbike on some sort of boat-based farce in Sorrento. And I always used to really enjoy saying, oh no, I can't afford it. Now they're all getting married in Brighton and I have to go to that alleged beach. It's made of rocks, Andy. If your sandcastle is an actual castle, that's not a beach.
Tell you what I miss. I miss free will. That was fun. Remember that? I mean, was it an illusion all the time? Who cares? It felt fun. I miss cash, particularly coins. I really miss coins. The fun of doing a heads or tails best of 5 to see if you had to go to the gym, and then a best of 7, a best of 9, and until you won. That was a long losing streak. Now with crypto, all the romance has gone out of heads and tails.
I miss romance, Andy. I miss there being mystery in life and not just a hope that your new partner isn't good enough at hacking to find out all the information the government has on you.
Bye for now, bug fans. Keep feeding the kitten of resistance, and one day it will grow into a Tyrannosaurus Rex that will use the cat family as toothpicks. Metaphorically, of course. Dob you in, so you might as well get in there first and preemptively counter-dob them in to the authorities. Yeah. What's that number again? Let's call them up again. Hey, I've got someone else. It's my son. Let's call him Norris. He never tidies his bedroom. He gets up late. He listens to illegal, non-government sanctioned music and is covertly plotting the downfall of the government and the restoration of a true democracy. Thank you.
Yeah, just define all your household chores as patriotic, and if they fail to do them, dob them in.
Problem solved.
If you don't do the washing up, do you even want a clean British ethnostat?
This is the bug on the Buccaneer.
The bug.
Well, before we go today, Alice, let's delve into what we most miss about the old days. I'm going to kick off with the flag. I never thought I'd miss the old Union Jack, but somehow our new flag managed to be even more irritating than that. I don't know quite what it is, if it's the new...
Let's wait around and see if our dance opponent shows up. Based on their social media rantings, our prospects won't respect anyone who can't beat them in a game of darts, which I suppose is perfectly doable, even if it is a bit low stakes.
"飞镖"单人对决。
Do you play darts or what?
All right, let's go. Oh, bugger it.
Oh no. Good.
Bloody
Come
hell,
on!
yes. I'm completely
那个真的很
unstoppable.
难控。
Oh well, better luck next time.
Nice to meet you.
科技非团队继马苏德、威廉麦地图及社群照片花。